Hello, traders. It's been so long since I've done a live stream, almost forgot how. And the OBS system changed a little bit too. But we have a little situation here. I'm kind of late to the party. If you were trading this was a potential breaker right here I just marked. If you were trading the opening range candle on NQ or on ES, we had a break and retouch of that son of a gun. That was really nice. Um, this is actually Asia. I have some. So here's the first candle. We go RTH only. Right there it is. Open with a gap down. We came down and we took out this 4-hour low with ES. Went on a nice run. Took out the 4-hour high. Came back down, bounced off the top of that first 1-minute candle. And then here we go up. Now, it was pretty clear to me that the who was in the driver's seat here was ES. It was the one definitely driving price action because it took its low, where NQ did not take its low. Now let's go over here to NQ and let's put it into regular trading hours too. And we'll look at that same type of price action. It did react to that first 1-minute candle, which corresponded pretty well with Asia. But you can see it opened above settlement and then pushed down and left the 4-hour RTH low. And now we're running up. But when it came back down, it touched the top of that 1-minute candle. And here we go. So this breaker has been invalidated, but we have not yet made a higher high. I expect we will. And that's when I expect to see a possible reversal. We may not see that reversal because ES has relative equal highs right here. See that? So maybe we should have been looking at this as an opportunity to get long rather than looking at it as a possible reversal point. And so if that's the case, if we don't reverse at this 4-hour high when NQ takes it, then our only option is to wait till it goes here, because the path from here to here can be up and down and up and down and up and down. And there's no clear way to enter that trade without putting on a huge stop loss and praying. And I'm just not going to be doing that anymore. I don't do the huge stop loss and pray thing these days. You could call this an attempt to push lower that failed and enter right here at that fair value gap, I suppose, and aim for those. But I mean, what's it going to do for you? Make you 20 bucks? I mean, we're entering at the highs. The time to get involved with this long move would have been right here. As soon as we got that fair value gap there, enter there. That might have stopped me out. I don't know. I've been carrying a pretty good stop loss. If I hit, I would have got my fill right there. To the bottom of those wicks is 35 points. So I would have been okay. But that's the only place where I would have been interested in getting into this long. But I was still in bed, asleep. NVIDIA earnings is coming out tomorrow. And I am actually bearish ahead of earnings. So I could see this thing offering back down and leaving those relative equal highs possibly until Thursday. And even though this relative equal high is right there, and I do believe we are going to take it on NQ, I don't know that we'll take this one. And that's why, if we do get an opportunity, and I hope we get a decent reversal pattern too, we need, if you watch my video yesterday, what we're looking for on those reversal patterns is that, wish this would let me do like a free form draw. Ray, extended ray, info line. It really won't. It'll just let me do this. I'll just show you on the thing yesterday. And I'll delete. Because it was a really nice one, and there was another really nice one on Friday. I'll make sure I'm watching that because. So here, yesterday, we pushed down, and then we came down again right here, and we made a higher low, and we pulled away with a fair value gap. So the entry was there. And then what liquidity were we running? Well, there was a 15-minute fair value gap here that filled in with these, but it left relative equal highs right there. And that's what we were attacking this morning. But we still have relative equal lows down here. This is the 4-hour low, but these are also areas that got left on NQ. So if this is going to end up being a range day, then we could trade all the way back down to these. The problem I see is ES already took those. So that makes these the target on the upside. So it's just right now a coin flip that I am not going to flip. I'm not going to take a trade on either one of them. I've noticed my new microphone don't work too good. It makes a squeaking sound the entire time. I bought the cheapest one on Amazon, and I guess I should have spent a little bit more money. But it makes a high-pitched hum. Maybe it's not doing it today. We'll see. Definitely had a slow of momentum once we got up here to this 25,000 mark. That's kind of leading me to believe that we might possibly reverse. This was I don't know if I would have taken that. When it came back down here, I would have taken it for that push up. But I already made money in Asia last night. It had pushed up, and I think it had taken this high, maybe gone a little higher, and then came back to settlement. And I got involved with that move down. I could show it to you. Okay, so let's see. Where we opened last night is right here, I think. Yeah. That's the opening candle for Asia. And it will actually interact with that first 1 minute candle during Asia the same way it does during a New York session. Yesterday, it did not interact with it very well. It was just ranging between it. And so I didn't really mess with it until we took out a 4-hour level. And I'll show you. Right here, we took that. And then, but we never did really take anything down. I was expecting it to come all the way down here, but it didn't. It just kept on meandering around. And then finally we pushed up here and we got into a consolidation. And to me, that looked like just a little range that you could take advantage of. So we took the high of that and we pushed down, but then here we pushed back up, took out that high, failed to go any higher, pulled away with a fair value gap, and then we were good to aim for these lows. This part right here is the most important part of any reversal pattern. because until you see this failure to go any higher, you don't know if we're reversing or if we're just going to push up to this line. So this is a very important leg. That's the one you got to watch, and you got to wait for it. And that waiting is what is the downfall for most traders. They want to get in here and get out, get their money, and move on. I'm trying, because I've been that trader that wants to move on and get my money and get out. And I'm trying to be more patient waiting for this leg, because I've gone through all of my reversal patterns, looked at everything, and that leg is the telltale leg right there. We push down, we leave liquidity, we go back up and we take out maybe a recent swing high, but we don't go any higher, and we pull away with a fair value gap. That's your optimal entry right there. During that, as soon as that fair value gap stays open, you can jump in right there and aim for recent swing lows. I know I was watching it real close when it hit the top of this, expecting it could possibly go higher, but it didn't. And I think I ended up taking the trade off the settlement and did okay on that. So we are pushing higher. It looks like, just based on what ES is doing, that NQ is most likely taking its 4 hour, and it is. Now here's our line in the sand. Do we go through it and keep going? Do we hit 6,900 and bounce back? We put on a 15-minute chart from yesterday. I think this is a fair value gap to the downside right here. Yeah, there's one right here. So maybe taking that 15-minute high right there could be a possible spot that ES could reverse. Or maybe we just go all the way up here. We don't know that yet. We have nothing to go by. And that leg that I just showed you, I mean, this would have been a good place to get in on the long side if you missed everything else. But to me, it's too far up the run to trust it. Yesterday, I talked about the 4-hour highs being points of contention, and that you could put a limit order to just go short at a 4-hour high with a $200 stop loss and a $200 take profit with one micro, and you would make money most of the time. I could put one right here as soon as it took that. And you could do that. Sometimes it blows through a whole bunch of 4-hour highs. So we've blown through this one, that one, and then this one. This one was just the tail end of the day, I think. I may even have a bad line on there. Yeah, I do. Well, no, this was yesterday's afternoon high. This line is no good. I don't know why I have that on there. Sometimes with Top Step, I've noticed, see, those are relative equal highs there that we could be reaching for as well. But so you would have put if you put well, I don't think you would have, because we opened above it. So you would put your 4-hour RTH short right there if you knew nothing else about the market, with a $200 stop loss, $200 take profit. And if it failed, no, $100 stop loss, $200 take profit. I apologize. If it failed, you lost $100. If it succeeded, you made 200. And then if let's say it failed. You put your next limit order at the next 4 hour high. $100 stop loss, $200 take profit. If it succeeds, then you're up $100 on the day. And that's just a very rudimentary statistics and probability situation where you can set it and forget it kind of thing. I like the fact that we took that high and we're kind of pulling back. We only took it by a tick. We filled in this fair value gap here with ES on the 15-minute chart. So right now it's just a waiting game. We got to wait and see if we get that reversal pattern we look for. But if you would have went short right there at that 4 hour high, even with a little bit of size on, you could have already made 20 points. See where the high is. 47. Didn't even take 50. We're coming up on London close here pretty quick. Anybody long London is going to be wanting to get out of their positions, I would imagine. So a pullback is possible here. Even if we don't reverse, pullback's possible. All right, so our potential breaker now is right here. And on the ES, it's right here. The last down close candle before the run up. Ideally, we'd want to see price start trading below it with a fair value gap, try to get back above it and fail. Man, taking a short right there at that 4 hour low would have been a sweet thing to do. The one thing, a lot of times when we're ranging like this, you won't get that pullback that I like to see. It'll just go. And it may do that here, in which case I'm probably going to not get to take a trade because I need it to try to push higher and fail when we have all those areas up above relative equal highs and all that. I need it to try to push higher and fail. Sometimes this is a little ambiguous because you think, well, this could be the trying to push higher right here. I like to see it push, like almost take these, then go back, and then go after them. And so then you can at least aim for those that recent swing low. We did get a couple of fair value gaps to the downside here. The person was wanting to be the first one to the party. That would be a good place to join it. Push back up there and fail. Or succeed. We may end up just ranging here all afternoon. I like to see fair value gaps below the breaker, not just pushing through. From a 15-minute perspective, kind of have a little range here. Big fair value gap. Middle of the day's range. We got 355 points we already moved. So middle of the day's range would be right here at 24,872. Is crypto still selling off like crazy? Yeah, it actually kind of found a bottom for a minute. Didn't take that low yet. One might be able to justify a short in crypto. We didn't quite get the gap filled, but we are starting to pull back. And that does kind of look like an exhaustion wick. I'm kind of liking the Bitcoin short. Let's look at its daily for a minute. And those are relative equal lows right there at 60,000. You get $100 for every 1,000 it drops on Bitcoin. There's settlement. That looks like a liquidity run to me, but I don't know where it was running to other than filling the majority of the gap. So maybe if an attempt to push higher fails here, maybe there's a Bitcoin opportunity. Gold's been kind of wacky. This is looking pretty nice over here. Almost like a head and shoulders situation. I need you to leave those lows and swing back up. So now we have a possible reversal. Um, or a possible opportunity to get long. We failed to fill the gap here. We haven't taken the most recent swing high here on the 4 hour. Could just be the London close. I typically do like to sell off, in which case we need to see that attempt to push higher fail here. We swept that low right there. That's low of a 15-minute range. This fair value gap looking pretty sweet. But we did take those lows. I already made my money on the day, so I'm being real picky. What's the most important leg of any reversal pattern? It's this one. There we go. Rip back up them highs or fail to do so. That might be it right there, guys. I think the max I can sell on Bitcoin is 3. I'm going to try to get in on it. This was the very most recent swing low. That ain't very many points away at all right there. $24. We can get down to here, that's 135. If we can take out that low, How far was that daily low? We took that one, and then we got this one right here. Man, that's a good ways down. It would be sweet if it got there, but I don't know. Just my gut's saying we're going higher on the equities, and Bitcoin's going to go with them. But the chart is what you play on, not your gut. This could have just been London close selling off, and now we go and fill this gap. It's hard to say. I know I'm not going to let it go against me very far. I won't let it take my stop loss up there. If it invalidates that breaker right there, I'll probably go ahead and take it off. I felt like 64,000 was a good pullback point there. But this candle right here, it fooled me. That said, we pulled that and then we respected it. We're good to go. But it fooled me, and it does that. Excuse me. We're going to have a directional day on a Mo Day Tuesday. No news Tuesday. It's possible. Very possible. That's why you never bet the farm on any one trade. NQ's bouncing at 25. Even the best quality setup in the whole wide world fails sometimes. So you never want to bet the farm on one single trade. See, to me, this breaker right here has been invalidated, but breaker or no, that's way down here. As long as we don't make a higher high here, we're good to go. But I am kind of expecting us to make a higher high here. This is quite an aggressive move up, and our push down, it did leave liquidity. Well, yeah, this is your ambiguous part, and I should not have entered the trade where I did, I guess, in hindsight. But if ES will pull away right here with a fair value gap, then we got something. And this is also the danger of reversal patterns. You look for all that confirmation, and it oftentimes has you entering at the low of the range. That may have just been the London sell-off, and now we go higher the rest of the day. Okay, so here we return to the breaker, and it does appear like we're pulling away, but this candle won't turn into a doji, or I'm talking about over here on ES, not on Bitcoin. As long as this candle doesn't turn into an immediate rebalance or a doji where we go take those highs, we might actually have a valid reversal. This is actually if I could get it on the ES right here, I would take it. But I kind of want that candle to finish and leave this open. All right, it finished. Now can we leave this open? I actually kind of like that. I'm going to try it. And maybe we can swing these, get these lows at least. We don't need to put on a big stop loss. No more than that. And Q's just dancing at 25. It's also got the relative equal lows down here. I sure would like to see it make a move instead of dancing right here. I think Bitcoin is probably, I'm not feeling super comfortable with it. I think it should take these lows, but I don't know that it's going to go where I want it to go. Be nice if it got down to here. buzzing. My phone vibrating is NQ hitting 25,000. This one looks like it could be a loser. I would have liked to have seen the follow through on this. And so we're most likely going to take those highs right there. Before taking these lows. So I could put on more risk. Like say put it up here. That's $122 risk for a $57 gain. I would say that would be my most likely. It would, if it's gonna go there, I either kill it for a loss or I let it go there. Because I'm like 99% sure it's going to take these highs right here. But maybe not. Where else could we be aiming on the low side? I don't really. I mean, we could fill in this fair value gap, I suppose, if we wanted to do a risk to reward ratio that was a little more user friendly. But I'm okay with getting $57 there. I'm just not okay with losing 122 to get it. Taking that 15-minute high right there before pushing down is a possibility. Come on. Bitcoin's starting to head my direction, it's looking like. NQ still hitting 25. Dow Jones 49,170. That's the line in the sand. It can't go any higher than that, or we're going to get stopped out. These will definitely be a target, but they may not be a target right now. survived the Bitcoin push, looks like. Sure would like to see it start falling out of bed. Yeah, so that's my risk right there. I mean, my potential take profit right there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take off this ES trade and wait for a better opportunity. It's just not wanting to offer lower. So that was the London push, but it left those. Those are definitely going to be a target. And we may go make a new high first. Let me see what this 1 minute chart looks like before I kill it. There's fair value gap to the downside there. I'm going to wait all the way till it gets back to 69, I guess. This could be our attempt to push higher that fails. But right now, it's looking like an attempt to push higher that's going to succeed. Hmm. That fair value gap isn't even getting worked into at all. And this is invalid. Let's see if it gets respected here. It did. And my Bitcoin trade is going against me again. Since these are running in unison, I say there's a really good chance I lose both of these. That risk became too much for me. I don't stomach risk well at all. If I would not have taken two positions, I would have probably held one or the other of these. But that to me looks like it's saying, no, we're very happy going up. And so we're going to continue to do so. This could end up being a higher low. I mean, a lower high, but I would bet. I'm not going to bet any money on it, but I bet you anything we make it to that 69. I thought we'd already gotten there. I would put in Q probably around the 25.50. But viewing that as the top of a range would be probably a pretty decent idea. Bitcoin came down, left liquidity, went up, came back down, failed to make a new low, and ripped higher with a fair value gap. So I'm thinking I'm leaving Bitcoin alone. I can't get a good read on it. Yeah, MNQ is just about to take its highs. And it's left this liquidity here as well. You can view it as a higher low or a liquidity sweep. A higher low and we go higher the rest of the day, or a potential to take profit once we take out the high of this range. I don't know which way I would want to view it. I'm not happy that I lost both of those trades, and I'm thinking I might be done for the day. Probably should have taken the London pullback. We'll see what happens when it takes these highs, if it takes these highs. One could say I don't know if the whole after 11, if the market hasn't reversed, probably won't situation would even come into play here. Because we kind of did reverse. I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna call it. I think we could get a reversal here, but it would be one of those where I would want to treat it like a range trade, where I would just sell and cross my fingers that we come back down here. But this scares me just a little bit because they are relative equal highs. And I don't want to put on $200 stop loss on one micro. But we certainly are not making a hard push to that high. If I sold one there, that would give me all the way to here before I got stopped out. I like that idea. But I sure don't want this to be a losing day either. What are the chances of us not going to 69? Very, very slim. But sure is holding up here. Sure doesn't seem like it's gearing up to push higher. Like very much higher. But I'm not going to put that order on. It's just hypo. Because it could put up a 100-point candle. $96 would be 5 points, $50. ES is pretty good ways. $69.05 is definitely within reach. I don't know if I'll leave that one on. Man, look at that. I bought it the exact perfect time for it to decide to rip. Made that new high. Made it a round number. I sold at the exact perfect time for it to rip. That's the way my trading goes when I decide, well, let's play the top of this range. I pick the very candle that decides to break the range every time. Every time. It's uncanny how efficient I am at that. And I'm already 100 in the hole. Look at this. You think you can't make money doing micros? You can make it and you can lose it in a hurry. Yeah, this is not a good trade. Oh, holy crap. What did I do? Did I do sell? Yes, I did. Market buy two, and I'm short, so it should make it where I'm reducing my position size here. Market buy. Does that say three? Market buy one. Isn't that incredible? I mean, I have the uncanny ability to pick the very candle that this thing decides to rip. At lunch. At freaking lunch. I reduced my position size so if it does decide to rip higher, my loss won't be as great. But I'm hoping to get a pullback and at least get out of here this thing at break even. I already lost with those others I sold, but this doesn't look like it's going to offer any type of a pullback right now. But a break and retest is a possibility. I haven't live streamed in a long time, and here I am live streaming, and this is my results when I've been trading very, very well. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. Blow through round number and not even return to it. Seriously. You're seriously going to do that. And we're going to leave these relative equal lows down here at lunch. At lunch. That looks like what we're going to do. The lunch macro is always a pullback macro, or not always, but most of the time. I'm not hating this candle here. ES is looking a lot stronger than NQ right now. New high on ES. If I would have waited for this leg to make a new high or to fail to make a new high before I entered that trade, I would not have entered either of those trades, Bitcoin or ES. So that was an error on my part, one that I make quite often. But if we get a reversal here, I can add back in and grab that money back real quick. Just don't know if we're gonna get it. It looks like we could offer to those relative equal highs. Most definitely. And now I'm stuck in a position that I don't really want to be in. It's one of those situations. I mean, you could view that as a liquidity run for sure, because it was pretty aggressive and it is not going any higher. This break and retest will be the telltale. If it takes 50 and goes back up, or bounces off the top of these and goes back up, then I really don't have a choice. I've got to kill it. But if it'll push through 50 and start offering lower, possibly down to these lows here, then we got something. And I will add, and I might add over here on NQ. How many points is that? From 50 to here is 965, about 100 points. It's $200 either side. I look at, it's right at 200. Break and hold below 50. Right now it's a break and retest. ES is looking really strong. I'm going to try it over here and just try to get a double up right at 50. There it is. I like those relative equal lows right there, but I might get smoked. I certainly don't want any more risk than a higher high right there. That's pretty much a break and retest. I'm going to have to see an aggressive move down in like the next 1 second. Yeah, it's going. It's going. Not even going to retest round number at a lunch. Came down, worked into this fair value gap. We did a break, we did a retest, we pulled away with a fair value gap. This is saying loser, 1000% loser. I'm going to give this one a little more wiggle room. That's $100 on the risk right there. So that's $200, $228 total. I think both of them are getting hit, but those relative equal lows look so inviting to me. I think there's a very real possibility at 1230 we could offer there. But we could also get up here to 80, take that high. So if I get it real close to there, NQ could definitely take the high and then still offer where I'm saying it's going to offer to, where I'm hoping it offers to. ES made a new high. NQ did not. Would that be SMT? Or just, it's about to. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. The only thing I can do to stay in this trade right now is to walk away. Yeah, this is going to be a straight directional day. Apparently. There's nothing really to go off of on ES over here. We do 15-minute candles. There was that fair value gap I was thinking we might trade to. That's right where my stop is. We just took this 69.02. Didn't really seem to want to pull back. So we're going to all-time highs here on a no news Tuesday at lunchtime during the lunch hour. That's what you're trying to sell me here. And yeah, I guess we probably could. Why? Why the hell not? We're going to leave relative equal lows down there. And we're just going to go straight to the moon at lunch. At lunch. That's what I'm to believe. So ES made a new high, NQ did not. Is that smart money timing right there? Or Potter about to get smoked again? They call that divergence in the equities. Hmm. We do a smaller time frame, you can see it better over here. So that was its previous swing high, and this is its new swing high. That's divergence. Doesn't mean we're going lower. Doesn't mean that at all. Because I am in a short position, I would expect we to go higher. Much, much, much higher. I really don't like having two positions on and being wrong twice. But I sure would like to be right twice. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Can't even visit round number at lunch. Come on. It's 12:30. Back to 50 and bounce. Bounce right back to 60. You want to talk about Mark Douglas a minute when we watch my trade go against me? Um, he talks about the importance of being comfortable with uncertainty. I'm not all that. The uncertainty is, do I win this trade? And I'm fairly certain I'm losing this trade, but I'm not in control of what happens next. I know we've taken a 4 hour high. I know we're failing to push any higher right now, but does that mean we're not gonna push any higher? I know we have relative equal lows, which is a big draw. It's a no news Tuesday. There's a lot of reasons this trade would work out in my favor, but there's also those relative equal highs right here. And so there's reasons that it would work out against it would go against me. I really don't have any other justification as to why this is the high, other than we've taken this 4 hour high and we've made a couple attempts to push higher and failed. ES has made a couple attempts to push higher and succeeded. So I don't really have a whole lot of justification. I don't even know if I would recommend you take this trade. I think I'm going to lose it. To be real honest with you, I think I'm going to lose it. But I see enough things that I like that are keeping me holding on to the trade for whatever reason. Yesterday we opened with a gap down over here on NQ, and this candle actually filled that gap. This one we opened with a gap. We opened here yesterday, and this candle actually went to that open. So that might be the high side we were looking for. And we could actually push lower now. But I'm not very confident that's going to happen. Why can't we just go take this high or that high? Sure would like to see a valiant effort made and a move to the south. I might just need to take this opportunity on a pullback to get the hell out. ES is actually going to make an attempt at offering back to round number. What in the world? Surely not. Surely not. I'm not going to make y'all suffer through this, I don't think. Maybe y'all can just get on your chart and see if we ever take those two lows before we take that high and that high. I don't know. I feel sick at my stomach about this whole trade. Feel like I got in hopeful. There was a signal, but it was more me being hopeful than a good signal. It was a top of the range trade, basically. I'm just going to have to walk away from this one, guys, and let it either work out or not work out because my emotions are saying get out. But I really feel like this is a draw down here. I mean, it's just screaming at me to leave this trade on and possibly even add to it. we take that low and we don't rip right back up to the highs, I might add to this. It's taking this low on the ES. Back to round number over here on ES. While we're waiting for this thing to do what it's going to do, I want to talk to you about position size. I've been listening to a lot of Mark Douglas and other people too, psychologists and whatnot, trying to get a hold of my emotions when I'm trading. And their advice is to put on a position size that doesn't make you feel afraid if you're going to lose, where you can be indifferent and focus on the process rather than scared you're going to lose because you're going to blow up your account because you got too much size on. And no one can tell you what that size is for you. Maybe it's 4 micros, maybe it's 2 micros, maybe it's 5 minis. Doesn't bother you at all. But if the position size that you put on makes you nervous, then it's too big. If it makes you feel like you're going to hate yourself or whatever, gives you butterflies in your stomach, then it's too big. So you need to get a position size that if I lose this trade, I'm willing to accept that loss. I'm not going to go out in the yard and start kicking rocks because I lost that trade. I'm not going to think I'm a horrible human being because I lost that trade. I'm not going to say oh, you're such an idiot or any of that stuff. It's just you're focusing on the process and your strategy in over time should win more than it loses. And so you're focused on that process of it winning more than it loses. And today may be a loser, but tomorrow, because your process is good, your setup is good, over time that will be a winner. You don't want to go on to any particular day where your losers are bigger than your winners ever. So you got to control your losses and let your process, your setup, do the work for you. It may not go down there to those relative equal lows. It may not. I may lose this trade. Very, very likely that I could lose this trade. But it's not going to break my account. And that's the point. If I lose it, I'm okay. I've accepted the loss. I am going to pull this back to those highs because I don't want to lose any more than that. And if it goes up there again, it's going to this line. And so there's no sense in leaving on that much risk. There's just no sense in it. And it's most likely it's going to go. It's going to take me out. But there is still a chance that we could offer lower. So I'm going to just let my probabilities play out. If I was just trading what I think on this situation, totally kill the trade and then watch it go to those relative equal lows. And then I would be mad because I killed the trade. So I would rather lose the trade and lose the risk I have on than let fear guide my decisions. Based on everything I'm seeing, probably going to lose this trade. How many trades have you gotten into where you were comfortable saying, I'm okay with losing this trade? When I was trading minis, I could never say that. It was always a do or die. I've got to win this trade or my account's going. It's going to be so far depleted, I won't be able to put on a mini. And that's not a good situation to be in. Not if you want to pass prop firm challenges and grow your account. You don't want to be in a situation where any one trade can blow your account. I kind of do wish I would have taken off the ES trade so I could only be wrong one time instead of twice. I'm just gonna leave this run, fellas, and I've got some plumbing work I've got to go do. So I'm just gonna leave this crate on and let it work out or not work out. But I am gonna have to end the stream because there's no sense in y'all watching this Chinese torture chamber. Should I kill it now and be wrong once? Or let it ride and be right twice? I like this as a lower high. Tell you what, I'm going to add one more over here. And if I get an opportunity to take this one off, I might. We'll see. I've only got $53 on the risk over here on NQ. But I like the fact that we did not push any higher here. I may not get filled on that one. I'll put it right there at the high of that fair value gap. A tick above, a tick below the high of that fair value gap, if it fills me. If it doesn't, that's okay. That puts my total risk at about 100, 110 over here, 91 over here. I'm okay with losing that much. It puts my total gain 188 over here and 331 over here. So 3-1 risk reward ain't bad. Still think I'm losing both trades. I still think I'm going to lose both. But the potential for the risk reward, I think it's worth it. Sure would have liked to have seen it continue that push down. seriously got to go start my plumbing, folks. So y'all watch it on your chart. See if these relative equal lows get taken on both indexes. I think they will, but they may not. Maybe ES takes a new high and NQ doesn't. I don't know. That would be rare. But thanks for watching.